I'm hoping the numbers are about even. I'm hoping. Okay, if not, we'll have to manipulate this just a little bit. You're going to end up being on one of two teams. You're going to either be on the remove the words team, or you're going to be on the leave the words alone team. Right? So there's about 35 of you-ish in here. So we need about 17 per side-ish. If it ends up being like 20 to 15, that's okay. All right, so heads against desks. We're going to make this so that even if your bestest friend ever is on one team, you're not necessarily going to be on the same team. So raising your hand now if you would like to argue that the words should be removed. Can I have a few more? Like one or two? Okay, good, perfect. Keep your hand in there. Put your hand in there. Your hand is in the air. Okay, if you have your hand in the air, you have been designated by me. You shall be on the remove the words team. Okay, very good. Everyone can now raise your head. Very good. So we're going to do a little bit of rearranging here. So if you had your hands raised, in other words, you would like to argue that the word should be removed, then when I say so, you're going to get up and walk over to this side of the room. Will you take a look at the basic structure of this room? We've got 3 rows of 6 desks, 6 desks, 6 desks. And then this is a row of 5. And here's a row of 4, back to 5, back down to 4. 6, 6, 6, the number of the devil. 5, 4, 5, 4. 6, 6, 6, 5, 4, 5, 4. It sounds like I'm going to have my carpets cleaned by Zero Res with that easy number. Call 6. Anyway, the reason I'm pointing that out is because we're going to move desks around. You're going to be in circles and stuff. But then at the end, I'm going to say, okay, can you put the desk back? This is how it should look. All right. So if you're on the remove the words team to that side, leave the words alone team to this side, and just kind of sit in a desk. So take your stuff with you and move. Dividing line. If you're on the remove the words team, you're going to sit over there. If you're on the leave the words alone team, you're going to sit over here. Jack, I might rearrange where you're sitting.
Are you leaving?
No, no, wait, I'm already on this.
Are you sure?
Yeah, nah, you're good.
Okay. I feel bad.
We're outside. This side. So we're going forward.
Okay, so now I'm assuming that there's sort of a dividing line. Am I correct? You people think the word should be removed? You think the word should be removed? You think the word should be removed?
No.
So it's like this?
Yeah.
That's not right. Jack, get over there.
Okay.
Another suitor for the princess. Okay, so this might be okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Why was my bath so bad? Anyone else over there want to join over here? I mean, this will be fine. It'll work. Okay. So within your new teams now, so you people are going to take on you people. Choose your leader. You can use democracy or rock, paper, scissors, or however. I'll give you 1 minute.
Not me.
It's not happening. No.
Aiden.
No.
No.
I'm not being elected. No.
I vote Aiden.
Why? No.
I vote Aiden. Aiden, you're elected.
I vote Leo because he put this on me. No. No, I refuse this.
Yeah.
I refuse.
Does this side have your leader?
No.
Aiden.
No.
Aiden.
No.
Aiden.
You have 20 seconds before I choose.
No. No, I want you to. I swear, if you choose me, Potter.
What?
Don't choose me. They've all been trying to.
I swear, if you choose me, don't choose me. Wait,
Because logic, yeah. No.
5,
No.
anybody
4,
wanna do it?
3,
No.
2,
No.
1,
No.
time. Is there a nomination over here for leader?
No.
I nominate Hayden.
Okay. Relax. The responsibility is pretty easy. You'll see that there are 3 different measuring sticks for this little exercise that we're going to engage in today. And the 3 different measuring sticks were actually the real measuring sticks that the Supreme Court used when this case made it to the Supreme Court. So again, the school district of Elk Grove, California was being sued by this family for having a required participation in the Pledge of Allegiance because of the words under God. And so the United States Supreme Court said, all right, we will hear this case and we will decide whether the words under God violate the Constitution and as a result should be removed from the. Yes.
Was there a verdict?
Okay, do you suppose you're going to find that out?
Yeah.
Yes, you will. Okay. So I ask, will you please, in the interest of making this exercise interesting, not look to see what the Supreme Court said. Just wait. You'll find out. But just wait, okay? Pretend that this is exciting, okay? So within your teams, you need to divide into 3 subgroups. So here's the team. I need you to divide into thoids. 1 thoid of you will argue the lemon test. 1 thoid of you will argue the endorsement test, and 1 thoid of you will argue the coercion test. Don't worry about which one it is. Who cares? But leaders, your job is to divide your group into thirds, including the assigning of a secretary to write the names down. You could appoint yourself, or you could appoint someone else. I'll give you, I would say 5 minutes should be sufficient. So in 5 minutes, you will be in 3 groups within your team, and I will have in my hands a list of who's on which team.
I vote we should give Aiden every responsibility.
No. You force this on me. This isn't happening.
Okay.
Rachel, you're my secretary.
So it looks like you have about 22 names, so 22 divided by 3. You should have 7-ish per team.
Okay.
Okay, so Aiden, divide up. Okay.
This group has 1, 2, 3, 4,
I
5,
probably
6,
Rachel
7,
and Megan.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 divided by 3 is about
We could do
4.
like up here could be 1 team, and then like middle could be 1 team. Back.
All you have to do, write down names.
I don't go to the office to get my son.
Yes, go down.
That's happening.
You got your soccer team?
Yep.
Really?
For a game.
I didn't like your soccer team either.
Well, they smell good. So, yep.
The locker room just smells really bad during soccer season, and that's just something that
I want the endorsement one.
Is there a secretary over here?
I want the 3rd one.
So
I
Jack's
got
job
one.
is to appoint.
We'll
You're figuring out who's on what team.
Charlottesville, yeah.
What are we
And
doing?
then when you know you're in a specific subgroup within your team, you go and sit with your fellow subgroup team members.
Okay, so what are the
Subgroups.
groups?
Okay. 1. What?
Attack from captain to captain.
Nice.
No, I meant keep it.
No, this needs to end.
I want to do it again. Okay. No, we'll just count off. 1,
Secretary
2,
faster.
3. 1.
Oh, what?
1.
No, I don't want the lemon one. That's the
One.
lemon. Can we switch?
Okay, I got 3. That's
3.
fine.
Am I counting myself? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1.
I don't want the lemon one. That one's the long one.
One, put your hand up.
Ones are gonna meet over here. Yep.
I'm not one. Okay.
Yes, you are. Paige.
Can you sit together? So it sounds like it's signed by Pro, so.
Hey, you're a one.
Endorsement board.
Hey, I'm with you.
I will inform you of the next one.
No, we're not the big.
You were always on the lemon team.
That's for them.
I know.
You're not on the team.
Are you on the lemon team?
That's for the different arguments.
Which one are you on?
I guess I'm one. Yeah, one.
Okay.
Did you get Connor as a one?
It looks like you have about 1 minute left.
Okay, wait a minute.
I feel like we made this a lot more complicated than it used to be.
Yeah.
Are we talking?
Yeah, Aiden's a one.
Well, you can do both.
If we're talking in terms of the school, then it's an auto and remove the words.
So Sam, and then you, Rachel.
And it's not an automatic.
Why is it that schools are forced? Students are forced.
Kids are forced to-
Are they?
Oh, I get it.
I got you.
Peer pressure.
Okay, sorry, Kenzie.
So you should have like 7.
Remember, you're counting yourself.
This is the argument that you
Rachel,
should be
did
making.
you count yourself?
I get it.
Are you too?
So.
Okay,
Who else is a
have we succeeded?
Kennedy.
Was 5 minutes enough to divide into thirds?
Maybe about
All right.
5 minutes.
What were you? 2, so you get Sam.
That team is struggling.
We literally should have just went by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, not 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
It's too late now, so.
Why 7?
Yeah, why would you 7?
Oh,
22.
Okay, did you get everybody?
you 7, you're a team. You 7, you're a team. Oh, yeah.
You told us to do that.
I'm a 3.
Well, I thought the way he did it was fine too.
Mr. Potter, do you have any?
Yeah. great. Okay, I'm gonna start talking in a minute, so let's go, that team.
What class?
No.
What class?
So
Yeah.
7.
Wait, you're
Sure.
one. Never got
No, you're
that.
2. Rachel, I was in the 2.
Oh, it was just-
Yes.
It was a while ago, about a year ago, actually.
2.
Exactly.
Well, the Catholics remain, while the Anglicans split.
Wait, what kind of Puritan?
Separatists and Clover.
What, yeah, that other one.
Yours. Okay, so allow me to explain how this little exercise is going to work. Not in this room right now is the jury.
Very.
I didn't say that. The jury will be the recipient of your arguments. Only the jury. You're not convincing each other, you're just convincing the jury. Okay? Now, in the past, I've had it so 8th graders came up and they were the jury. I've had it so another class came over. I've had it so that it was the principal and the superintendent. One time I had Care 11 News. They did a little story. In fact, that is up there somewhere. Story about how Care 11, I can't remember. Anyway, and I've had Mr. Barry too, a staff.
Mr. Barry, the entirety of last week.
Yeah, Barry came through. Anyway, he is the person, or the jury is the person. Frankly, I don't even know who the jury is yet. This is not happening today. Okay, so we'll see. I've sent out inquiries, and we'll see what comes back. So this side is going to argue that the words should be removed, and this side is going to argue no, they should be left alone. But this is the measuring stick for how the Supreme Court is going to make its decision, the jury, right? The first test is something called the Lemon test. And the Lemon test goes a little something like this, that the words should be removed if the pledge can be proved to have a primarily religious purpose. In other words, does the pledge serve any other purpose besides a religious purpose? If it does, if there's something else going on, then leave it alone. It's fine. But if its primary purpose is religious in nature, the words should be removed. So remove the words team. You want to prove to the jury that the primary purpose of specifically words under God, and by extension, the pledge itself, is religious in nature. But remember, you're not saying don't say the pledge anymore. You're just saying remove those two words. So you can focus on the words under God. Your argument is that the words under God are religious in nature. Your argument is, no, it isn't. There are other things that are going on, that the pledge is not primarily a religious ceremony, that the words under God aren't necessarily a religious ceremony. Good luck. That's a bit of a hill to climb. You're going to argue that the words under God are not religious primarily. Now, I can help you. I can help you. We can have an open discussion here because the jury's not here. Okay, I can help you with strategies for thinking about that. And then part B is you're going to argue this time that the pledge is an excessive entanglement of religion and education. The words under God do not belong in a public school where there are people who might be Christian, but plenty who aren't Christian. And they worship a God whose name is not God. Whatever. Okay? Including, by the way, no God. Okay? So, lemon test people, you get it? You're trying to prove that the words under God have a primarily religious function versus, no, there are other things going on. You're trying to prove that it is excessively entangling public education with religion versus it is not excessive. Okay? The endorsement test goes something like this. Remove the words team. You're trying to prove that the words favor one religion over others. That the words under God favor, let's be honest here, the Christian religion. Right? No, it doesn't, team. You're going to argue, no, it doesn't. It doesn't favor the Christian religion over others. You could argue like it's the word God. It doesn't say Allah or Lucifer, or it's just this generic word, God. Right? That's a fairly generic word, you can argue. Okay? Any questions there? And then third one is the coercion one. Remove the words team. You're going to argue that kids exposed to that feel forced to say the words, and that's coercion. Leave it alone, team. You're going to argue any coercion they feel is self-inflicted. That you don't have to say the words. No, you don't. You don't have to say the words. Don't say them. But over here we're going to say like, yeah, but they'll get stared at, and the teachers will say, stand up and say it, and their friends will throw apples at them or whatever. Okay. These arguments do not need to be long-winded. My suggestion is you come up with a hypothetical situation. Hey, jury, what if this were the situation? And you talk them through it. That's always effective. That's called it's called synthesis, right? You give an example. Billy's standing there. Everyone's staring at him. Yeah. Okay. That's awesome. Okay. Do you have any questions as of right now? I understand that right now some of you are like, I don't even know what I don't know. So I wouldn't even know what to ask right now, and that's fine. I will be floating, but you have about 10 minutes-ish. This class is over at 1:55, so 10 minutes-ish to just kind of think about bouncing these ideas off of each other. The actual debate will be 1 week from today when this group is back together. Right? If I had it tomorrow, half of you would be in the other class, and then I'd have like 3 on one side and 30 on the other, and that wouldn't work. Okay? So 1 week from today, the jury will be here, and we will actually have this discussion. But let's just start thinking about it. Okay? I will float, but otherwise, my suggestion is you get together with your fellow team members and find a spot in the room and just start throwing out ideas about what you could argue. Okay? And I will flow. Go.